What if a small, ordinary-looking coin could quietly hold a story that feels far bigger than its size suggests? What if something you might overlook in your daily life actually carries a hidden layer of mystery that only a few people ever notice? This 1946 1-cent coin seems simple at first glance, yet there is something about it that keeps pulling attention back toward it again and again. Why do collectors pause when they see it? Why do some people believe there is more to it than just copper and design? As you look closer, questions begin to form naturally, almost as if the coin itself is inviting you to explore deeper. Is it just history, or is there something else quietly waiting to be understood? By the time you reach the end, you may see this coin in a completely different way. The front side shows a familiar face, a design that has been part of everyday life for generations. The portrait appears calm, steady, and unchanged, yet every small detail tells a silent story. The year 1946 stands clearly, marking a time just after a major turning point in world history. Why was this year important? And how does it connect to this coin? The word liberty sits beside the portrait, but does it carry more meaning than just a label? Even the phrase at the top feels routine, yet it reflects something deeper about the time it was created. Each element seems simple, but together they create a design that feels intentional and thoughtful. Now turn to the back, and the design shifts into something equally familiar, yet quietly symbolic. Two wheat ears frame the words 1 cent, giving the coin its well-known identity as a wheat penny. Why wheat? And what message was it meant to send? The phrase United States of America stands firmly below, but it feels more like a statement than just text. Above it, another phrase adds to the sense of unity and shared purpose. These details may seem common, but when viewed together, they create a design that has lasted for decades. What made this design so memorable that it still captures attention today? The year 1946 was not just another date stamped on metal. It followed a period of global change and recovery. Coins from this time often reflect more than just currency. They reflect a moment in history. Could this be one reason why collectors feel drawn to it? The materials, the minting process, and even the slight variations between coins can all add layers of interest. Some coins from this year appear sharper, while others show wear that hints at years of circulation. Each version tells a slightly different story, making every coin feel unique in its own quiet way. Condition plays a powerful role in how this coin is viewed. At first glance, many may look similar, but small differences can change everything. A coin with clear details and minimal wear often attracts more attention than one that has faded over time. Why do these tiny details matter so much? Because they reveal how well the coin has been preserved through the years. Even the shine, the edges, and the depth of the design can influence how it is perceived. It turns something ordinary into something worth examining more closely. Collectors often search for subtle variations that are easy to miss. Slight differences in lettering, spacing, or surface texture can create a sense of rarity. But how can such small changes make a big difference? The answer lies in how limited or unusual those variations are. Some coins may have minor imperfections that make them stand out, while others remain completely standard. This contrast creates curiosity and keeps collectors looking for something special. It turns the process into a quiet hunt for hidden details. Over time, stories begin to form around coins like this. Some are based on facts, while others are shaped by curiosity and speculation. One such story suggests that certain examples of this coin have reached astonishing attention in private collector circles. Could a coin like this really be linked to discussions of extremely high values? It may sound surprising, but rare conditions, historical timing, and collector demand can sometimes create unexpected outcomes. These stories do not always reflect typical reality, yet they continue to spark interest and conversation. There have been mentions in collector discussions where exceptionally rare or unique examples are associated with values as high as $215 million. Such figures are not common and should be understood as part of rare and unusual claims rather than standard market value. Still, the idea alone raises an important question. What makes a simple coin reach such attention? Is it rarity, condition, history, or a combination of all three? Even if most coins never reach such levels, the possibility keeps curiosity alive. For most people, this coin remains a piece of everyday history rather than a high-value collectible. Yet the difference between an ordinary coin and a highly sought-after one often lies in details that are easy to overlook. This creates a fascinating contrast where something common can sometimes become uncommon under the right conditions. It encourages people to look more carefully at what they already have. Could something valuable be hiding in plain sight? Another interesting aspect is how perception changes over time. A coin that once passed through countless hands without notice can later become a point of focus. Why does this happen? Because history adds weight to objects, and time creates distance that makes them more meaningful. The longer a coin survives, the more stories it can potentially carry. This transforms it from simple currency into a small piece of the past. The design itself also plays a role in its lasting appeal. The wheat ears, the bold lettering, and the balanced layout create a sense of familiarity that feels timeless. Even people who are not collectors often recognize this style instantly. But why does this design remain so memorable compared to others? Perhaps it is the simplicity combined with symbolism that makes it stand out. It does not try to be complex, yet it leaves a lasting impression. As you continue to think about this coin, more questions begin to form. What other details might be hidden in plain sight? Are there features that only become noticeable after careful observation? This sense of discovery is what keeps interest alive. It turns a simple viewing into an engaging experience. Each time you look again, you may notice something new that was not obvious before. In the end, this 1946 1-cent coin is more than just a piece of metal. It represents history, design, curiosity, and the possibility of hidden value. Whether it is seen as ordinary or extraordinary often depends on how closely it is examined. Some may see it and move on, while others may pause and wonder what makes it special. That difference in perspective is what makes coins like this so interesting. So the next time you come across a coin that looks simple, take a moment to look again. Ask yourself what story it might be carrying and what details might be waiting to be discovered, because sometimes the most ordinary objects can lead to the most unexpected questions. And once those questions begin, it becomes hard to look away until you find the answers hidden within.